You shouldn't threaten to fight a war that you do not want to fight. So it's like a school time brawl, say over something or someone. And the boy picks a fight like any other day to flex some muscle and impress a few people. But what he did not expect was that this time his nemesis was ready. Oops. Now he definitely did not plan on fighting, but he does not want to look like a sissy either. So he positions himself as if he is ready to throw some blows at his nemesis. Well, because he does not want to come out looking like a coward to that someone he's fighting for, with beads of sweat trickling down his face. And right when the fight is about to start, he backs off and humiliates himself. Yikes! The whole world is looking. The nemesis is looking, and worse, that someone is looking right at the boy. This is exactly what US President Joe Biden, supposedly the most powerful man on the planet, is doing. He keeps saying that he will demolish Russia if Putin invades Ukraine. But whenever Putin beefs up his troops on the Ukraine border and sends out a strong message to the USA, Biden backs off and finds other issues to talk about. Absolutely unrelated issues. Sorry Ukraine, but Biden is just not ready to fight for you. Hi and welcome. You're watching TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm Siddharth, your host. In this video, I will tell you how Putin is about to give Biden his biggest global humiliation ever. Let's begin and let's go, Brandon.
We still do not believe that President Putin has made a decision. What President Biden did today was lay out very clearly the consequences if he chooses to move.
Traditionally, the war lobby in Washington DC has loved getting into regime change wars and avoidable tussles. But when it comes to Russia, the war lobby ensures that he does not go too far. So, for example, the Bush administration invaded Saddam Hussein's Iraq because the US thought that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. But it never did anything about Russia because the US knew that Russia has weapons of mass destruction. Biden is doing what his predecessors did. Talk about Russia but avoid locking horns with the dangerous Putin. And this is setting up Biden for his biggest humiliation till date. Biden officials are punching above their weight over the Russian troops buildup near the Ukrainian border. A senior official told reporters that the USA is ready to act if and when we need to. The official also said that there will be significant consequences if Russia attacks. But Biden is also confused. On one hand, he's talking about consequences and being ready to act if Putin decided to take the offensive route against Ukraine. And on the other hand, Biden says, "I'll meet the man." US officials have said that talks could take place in January regarding the Russian military buildup. Earlier, Putin has said that he was hopeful of a meeting in Geneva. Biden is now shivering at the thought of locking horns with Putin and is thinking of just talking it out. Biden is thinking of taking on Putin, but you can't simply toy around the Russian president. The man worked as a spy for 16 years, and he knows if you are trying to mess with him. So when Putin gauged that Biden is trying to make hay by vilifying the Kremlin, he came up with his own agenda. Putin says that he doesn't want a war. In fact, he's saying that Biden can de-escalate the situation if he wants to. Talking about the US and the NATO, the Russian president said, "The ball is in their court." He added, "They need to respond to us with something." Putin does not want eastward expansion of NATO and is also demanding legally binding security guarantees that certain offensive weapons won't be placed in Russia's neighborhood. So, Putin is making demands that Biden can't fulfill. This puts the USA in a catch-22 situation. On one hand, the Russian troop buildup is piling more pressure on the USA. Ukraine will now be asking Biden to give it something, maybe get the NATO to come for its rescue or transfer American military tech to the East European nation. But this is not going to happen because we told you how the USA knows what Putin-led Russia can do. On the other hand, Putin is not giving a diplomatic victory to Biden either. He will keep using Ukraine as a means to embarrass the US president. Russia can invade Ukraine whenever it wants, but it will not take the offensive route. Putin will keep troops stationed on the Ukrainian border, carry out naval drills and aerial sorties, and keep doing this for several days at a stretch. Once the world knows that the USA is a toothless tiger and that the NATO is an anachronistic body, he will pull back his military forces. Ukraine will realize that it is completely on its own. It will be a major victory for Putin and a global humiliation for Joe Biden.